As we reach the end of Mental Health Awareness Month, I wanted to share with y'all an analogy that I like to use with my patients to help them understand the relationship between the mind and the body. My name is Golfran Rivera. I'm a board certified physician assistant. I practice family medicine and sports medicine here in beautiful Fayetteville, North Carolina. Now, I always let my patients know, whether they're new or we've been working together for a little while, I just remind them that I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychology major, I don't pretend to have some sort of specialized training in psychiatry or the field of psychiatry. However, it is a topic. Mental health is such an important topic for primary care practitioners to understand. And as a family medicine PA, I see people from all walks of life and all seasons of life. And mental health is an important part of everyday health. And unfortunately, many of the people that I come across do find themselves wrestling with mental disorders. And so what I like to offer them is some perspective by sharing this metaphor with them. So imagine that you are the greatest undisputed race car driver in the world. You've won all the championships of all the races wherever, right? And imagine we put you in a hoopty, a car with bad tires, bad brakes, a crack in the engine. There's very little chance that you're actually going to be able to win any more races. And in fact, you run the risk of putting your life in danger if you put that kind of car and push that car to the limits trying to win a race, even if you're a world-class race car driver. Now imagine you're an everyday Joe just like me, not a specialized driver, and they put you in the most high-tech, most advanced race car that there is on the market. Just hands down objectively superior to everything else on the market. Perfect handling and speed and all that jazz, right? The odds are still pretty bad that you're going to win a race, and there's still a good risk that if you push that car to its limits, even though it's designed to be a race car, because you lack the skills to be successful on the racetrack, you're still putting yourself at risk. I believe that there is a similar relationship between the mind and the body. See, the mind is you. Right? I tell people the mind is the you that exists separate from the body, but can't interact with the world without the body, without the brain. So you need the brain, you need the body, but the mind is what we sometimes call the seat of consciousness, right? It's the you that makes you you. And when the mind has a strong sense of self, sense of identity, a strong sense of purpose, a positive outlook, when the mind has, strong values and an understanding of the world that's flexible and can adapt to different kinds of situations and be resilient, people can generally enjoy better mental well-being. However, if that same mind is seated in a body that is generally fed the standard American diet, doesn't get enough sleep, doesn't get enough exercise, doesn't have healthy relationships with other people, then even that mind will struggle and battle with a depressed mood and a sense of anxiety and irritability. Even a mind with a good mindset, when the body is not cared for, in other words, the vehicle isn't cared for appropriate, it's still hard for the mind or the driver to do a good job driving. Now, on the other side of that, even when people really take care of their bodies, right? They eat well, they stay hydrated, they sleep enough for themselves, and they're getting regular exercise, they got healthy relationships. When this body has a mind that is constantly negative, with a poor sense of self or an undefined identity, feeling a lack of purpose, right? Or having a poor outlook on the future, not being flexible, not able to adapt, even that body, because the mind is not right, because the mindset is very negative, even that body can begin to manifest a lack of energy, a sense of jitteriness, tension, stress, and even that body may feel symptoms that feel like a disease when there's not really anything there because it's coming from the mind and the body is kind of reacting to it. Now, what I'm describing is something that is referred to as the biopsychosocial model. We try to appreciate the fact that human beings are not just one single thing. We're not just a biochemical living organism, but we're also not just a mind that is unclear in defining, right? We're a combination, and we're not separate from our relationships. We're not separate from our environment. Unfortunately, people have a tendency to choose sides or pick an extreme view in general, right? And when it comes to medicine, there's no exception. Some people, even medical practitioners, subscribe to this idea of our psychiatry is just chemistry. And others do subscribe to a view that our psychiatry is just mindset. And I personally find myself living somewhere in the middle, in the tension, acknowledging that it's not one or the other. Really, it's a yes and situation. You need a good driver, and you need a good vehicle. Now, people often ask me, okay, so what do I recommend addressing first when it comes to trying to improve mental health? Well, because I believe that the mind and the body are so intimately connected, and what impacts one impacts the other. It's not easy to say where you should start, right? This is why it's valuable to reach out to a medical practitioner you trust, somebody who takes these things into consideration, someone who takes the time to ask you meaningful questions, generate thoughtful discussion with you prior to going ahead and prescribing, whether it's referring you to another medical practitioner, or prescribing medication, or prescribing diet, or prescribing lifestyle changes. Somebody who's going to take the time to get to know you, your situation, before they move forward in prescribing. It's not a one size fits all. It's not a black and white. It's not a this or that. Again, like a driver needs a good vehicle, and a good vehicle really needs a good driver. I feel like, though it's not a perfect example, it's a good illustration of how, just like the mind needs the body to interact, the body needs the mind to maintain its overall mental well-being. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If you're in the Fayetteville area and you're looking for a primary care practitioner, please feel free to hit me up. The phone number and the information is down below, and I appreciate it if you like and share. Thank you so much. God bless you guys.